Good evening. Our main story is that
the number of people killed by the virus
is now over 900.
Another case of the coronavirus here in the U.S.
2.4%.
A global health emergency.
The novel coronavirus has been dominating the headlines for the last few weeks, and everybody in China is very worried. Hi, I'm Miguel, and I'm working with China Matters to bring you this video about how foreigners are dealing with this situation here in China. I'm living in Beijing, but I've talked to many people around China to see what they have to say and how they're dealing with this situation.
Just trying to do everything I can to stay safe.
Keep calm and don't spread false news.
We need to fight and isolate the virus, not the Chinese people.
My mom was sending me messages and she asked, "Are you gonna stay here now? Are you still okay in Beijing?"
Over the past few weeks, many foreign governments have advised their citizens to leave China, and that leaves them with a difficult decision to make.
So the UK government has told all of its nationals to leave China, but that's quite a difficult decision to make. They didn't really give us any more information. They just said, if you can, leave. But I mean, my apartment's here, my job is here, China is my life. So how do I just leave that? For me, I feel quite safe here in Beijing right now, and so I don't think that I will be leaving because China is my home.
For some foreigners who are choosing to ignore their government's concerns, they have actually been stuck overseas because they're unable to return due to the flights being canceled.
I left Beijing 2 days after the virus got to the city on the planned trip just to go see my family. When I started getting the emails from the airline companies that the flights got cancelled, you can't go in and you can't go out. For many years, China was a big part of my life because my business related to that. And now you feel like you left home and you can't come back.
During this time of outbreak, the Chinese government has advised all non-essential personnel to stay home and not go into the office. Many people are working from home, and they've also advised that if you do need to go out, to make sure you're wearing protective gear and to always wash your hands.
I'm a teacher, so currently I don't know when we're going to go back to work. However, we've been working from home and we've been making video lessons for our students.
During the coronavirus, I just put myself to work. I make videos for my YouTube channels, and to not be really bored out of my mind, I read books, I exercise, and basically try to be healthier.
During the coronavirus, I've taken this time to be working from home, not leaving my apartment, and really focusing on video calls, video chats, and connecting with my team worldwide, in a remote manner.
We're treating the coronavirus very seriously, and we're making sure that when we go out to use a mask and hand sanitizer whenever we can.
It's obviously really important to stay indoors to help contain the spread of this virus, but it is causing a lot of challenges for people doing business here in China, specifically in Shenzhen, where they do a lot of import and export.
So in my case, I work with e-commerce, so they ask us to not go to the real office and stay at home, keep working in our own computer. But the company I work, all the products is abroad. We cannot prepare new containers to send, so it's become a little complicated. No restock, no sales, no money. I don't know how it will be the situation, but we are trying to do the best as we can.
As travel is severely restricted, many news organizations are relying more and more on foreigners in China for updates and information about the outbreak.
I share some of my experiences here now in Beijing on social media, on Instagram and on Twitter, and it is through those media that some of the journalists have reached out to me to ask me about what it is like to be in Beijing right now. I've been contacted by Dutch news channel, the Dutch radio, and recently the Wall Street Journal reached out to me to talk about what it is like to have to teach online now.
Many people are turning to social media to find out more about the outbreak and to share positive messages in support for China.
So during this time, I've also been trying to share more news and information on my social media platforms and on my Rachel Meets China Instagram, just as a way to show what real people in China are doing and going through right now. Some of the stories are very inspiring and positive about how hard the doctors are fighting, how hard people are working to send supplies and help to each other. And some of the stories are kind of humorous or funny, just as a way to show there are real people in China who are coming together, and you should be showing positivity and, you know, encouragement during this time and love towards one another.
I made a vlog in my YouTube channel about how to protect ourselves from coronavirus, and one of the advice I gave there was to keep calm and don't spread false news. Because if you spread unverified news, people will panic. Another advice that I gave there was to stock up on your essentials but do not hoard. Remember, you're not the only ones who are affected by this epidemic.
As we see on social media, people are sharing their stories from all across China, which we know is a very large country. Some people are sharing stories from the big cities, while some people are sharing stories from rural areas.
I live in a small village in Qinghai province in northwestern China. And after the virus outbreak, although there are no cases in our village, everybody still stay in their own house, in their own garden. And I actually feel quite lucky being in rural China because there are not a lot of people around. And also a lot of our food is produced by ourselves, so we don't really need to go to the supermarket every day. So all in all, I feel pretty safe here.
There's no way of telling what will happen in the coming weeks or months, but the foreign community is sticking together and not only supporting each other, but also the country that they call home.
I really hope that China will find a solution soon and will be able to fight the virus.
So I just want to say, 中国加油, keep fighting China.
So 加油加油 China.
武汉加油, 中国加油.
We're with you, China. We can get through this if we work together.
Stay safe, China. Wuhan 加油.
We will fight this. We can fight this. We will overcome this. 加油 China. 加油 Wuhan. 加油 people. 我爱你中国.